Hello, my friends, and great morning. This is your boy Dragon. As a quick reminder, this is part of the new 10-minute Rise Up series. I call it 10-minute Rise Up to a Great Day morning structure. So this new season is the latest series and commitment from me, the Dragon, and it was inspired by the unpredictability of how much time, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, how much time that we have to live, not just live, but live our best life. And then followed by that question of what is it that you're going to think, say, or do, in the last 10 minutes of your life. So this is all about creating urgency. So enjoy this new shortened structure into the Rise Up with Dragon format and my podcast. That's something that you could use as part of your morning structure to just get things going in the right direction. So welcome to another edition of Rise Up with Dragon.
Great morning, world! Welcome to the Rise Up with Dragon podcast with your host, Dragon!
Get into the float state with Calmer Mind meditations and gear.
What's up, my friends, and great morning. Don't have a lot of time because time is of the essence here, so I just want to jump right in. Great morning to everybody. This is your boy Dragon coming at you with another 10-minute Rise Up. Today, the topic and the theme is human nature, and we'll get that going in a second. A lot of people have asked me, whether I'm doing live talks or, transmitting live, about these glasses that I wear. So I just want to show you that I actually send these out to fans. They come in this plastic bag, and these are you can hear it crunching on the podcast. These are the Make Sense glasses. So I'm going to open up a pair. And basically, the whole premise behind these is just like you. I struggle in the morning sometimes to get my head on straight. I've got this amazing Rise Up structure that I do, and that's what I'm sharing here with you. But I always like the idea of having an anchor that I could do something in the morning that would, flip a switch in my brain and help me start seeing things the way that I want to see them. So I made these glasses, and they're say Make Sense on them. So as soon as I put these glasses on, everything changes. And, you might look at that as a gimmick, but for me, it works. And what I do is everywhere I go, I hand these out. So if you ever meet me in person, or if you just want to write to us through the Rise Up with Dragon website, ask for a pair of glasses and we will send them to you. So just as a quick reminder, these Rise Ups, I teach a lot of morning routine and morning structure. And I'm a very, very big fan of journaling. In fact, my book is the culmination of many, many years of journaling. But this Rise Up with Dragon podcast and these Rise Ups per se, these come from my journal entries. Now you're going to get 10-minute versions of them, but it's a culmination of almost 15 years now of me waking up almost every morning. Because I say almost because every now and then things change, but 15 years of doing journal entries. So I've got thousands of them. It's just unbelievable how many I have. So that's what you're hearing. And I want to start off today saying that when I woke up today, I committed to a new gym regimen. And what I want to share with you is, 'cause I talk a lot about urgency, especially in this new format. I found myself recognizing, Dragon's 50 years old, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I found myself recognizing that time is limited. I felt the immortality of life. And today I was motivated and inspired to hit the gym to get my body in shape before I can't. And that's an interesting topic. And I know that there's people out there that are like, I'm 90 and I'm in good shape. I don't know what's coming in the future. I just know about the now. So I'm going to live in the present moment, and I'm going to use this body to the best that it can be used right now. So I'm sharing that with you because maybe that's something you needed to hear today. And maybe you're thinking that you have more time to do things tomorrow and things like that. Maybe you need to quit something as well. So let's jump into this. We're going to go into human nature. This is my journal entry this morning. So this is fascinating. Human nature, think about this. Human nature is stronger than the individual human. Human nature, our nature as humans, is stronger than the individual human. So this is going to be kind of an interesting way of you letting yourself off the hook, but then putting yourself on the hook. So your intentions are good, right? You've decided, this is what happens with us. You've decided what you want and why. And we talk about goal setting. You've picked a start date, to begin crushing your goals and crushing life. Something or someone happens to you and poof. Think about that. Has that ever happened to you? And then just poof, it's all out the door and sidetracked while you go through an emotional roller coaster. Here's what happens. Not only do you get sidetracked and distracted, but you start going through this emotional roller coaster of catching yourself drifting. The personal growth and self-development world would be nothing if you didn't go through this emotional roller coaster of catching yourself drifting so that you can begin shifting and recovery and the recovery process of, doing that, shifting back on track into forward motion, and we just keep going on and on and on, trying to take another run at success. Has that ever happened to you? That's what I want to speak to right now. So when we take that other run at success, this time we're always hoping that this time it's going to be different because, things like timing, motivation, and self-belief, the whole January thing. So we go through this, just repeat, just always going round and round like a hamster wheel, as they say. This sounds familiar, doesn't it? So the good news, there's good news and bad news about that, right? The good news is that it's not your fault. You're only human, but that also is the bad news as well. But there's a bright shining light at the end of that tunnel. So as humans, think about this for a second. We've evolved over 5 million years, and that's 5 million years of running a program called human nature, right? We've evolved and we have adapted what we call human nature. In his best-selling book, The Laws of Human Nature, author Robert Greene, who is just fantastic, points out and defines the fact that human nature is more powerful than the individual. So our radical awareness and acceptance of this idea, this is the key. Human nature is more powerful than the human. Our radical acceptance of this idea is the platform. By accepting it, radically accepting it, that is the platform and starting point for things like the interface response system, my strategic system of upgrading your ability to create a more efficient and effective response system. The first step is to recognize things like human nature, right? So perhaps this radical acceptance is a good place for you to start today. Maybe your starting point today is to just start by radically accepting the fact that you're human and that you're subjected to this thing that's human nature, rather than fight it. Embrace it. I always say embrace the suck. It doesn't even have to be suck, but embrace it. And then from that place that you're embracing it, recognize that you now have the ability to make what we call a decision. You can decide what it is that you want to create from that place of radical acceptance. So a compelling future, maybe this is what you want to create, a compelling future that strikes your fancy. Maybe that's what you'll do after you radically accept that. So you see, by embracing the reality of human nature, you are not a victim to it anymore because you embrace it, you accept it. That's how you get out of victimhood. It's when you are unconscious of it that you are controlled by it. Now, in control, by accepting it, embracing it, you get to decide what it is that you want to happen next in your life. So if you're stuck and you're trying to get into town in a rocking chair in that oscillating pattern, I want to say, I forgive you, for you know not what you do. You're only human. But the question is, where do you want to go from here? Under 10 minutes, another Rise Up with Dragon. I love and appreciate you all. Just a wonderful, wonderful day for us to embrace that urgency of now. I don't know if that immortality thing is striking you, but I'm going to just soak up every single bit of this day today, not knowing what comes tomorrow. So I love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day.